Wallet Hub compiled data of all 50 states and Washington, D.C. They looked at employment, wealth, education, social and civic engagement, and health. They concluded some states have made significant strides toward racial equality between blacks and whites over the past few decades. Georgia has closed the racial income gap by over 32 percentage points since 1979. Mississippi has decreased disparity in poverty levels by 27 percentage points since 1970. And these states have made the most racial progress overall. They are now among the top 10 most integrated states. On top of that, Georgia ranks first for progress when it comes to business ownership rate and fourth best for improving the number of black residents in executive positions. And when it comes to states with the most racial integration, Arizona is number 1, New York number 32.
New York is a very huge state, and there are pockets in which maybe the integration isn't like you would expect in a place like New York City. The good news, though, is that New York is 22nd, which is above average in terms of racial progress, in terms of bridging some of those gaps. And again, some of those gaps are things such as the median household income, for example. New York is about average there. One thing that New York has done very, very well is in terms of business ownership rate. They have done a tremendous job of bridging that gap. The 10th in the country in bridging that gap at almost 74%. Upstate New York, the closer you get to the Canadian border, I think there are some issues there. And I think that's what kind of keeps New York at kind of middle ground there. But once you're able to address those issues, there's no reason that New York, with its with its progressive and forward-thinking state legislature, there's no reason why that the rest of the state can't follow the lead of New York City. When you see things such as more and more minority representation in the education system, in the political system, and in the business community, when you see more and more integration on that respect, I think that's key in bridging the gap in a lot of these factors that we had talked about when it comes to terms of things of like bridging everything from education gaps to wealth gaps.
And you can see much more on this story from the January edition of Community. It aired this past weekend on Channel 2, but you can still catch it on demand right here on our streaming app, WGRZ+.